Well, we're having a spectacular September here in Northern Ireland after 2 months of really poor summer. High pressure is back, the sun is shining, it's actually very warm and humid. I thought I'd do a quick vlog update on this new comet called P1 Nishimura. I hope I'm not butchering that name. But Comet Nishimura is the first amateur comet discovery in a very long time. It actually bears the name of an amateur astronomer and not one of the professional surveys that scan the skies every night looking for near-Earth asteroids and comets which threaten the Earth, such as NEAT and Neowise, Pan-STARRS, Linear and so forth. But this Japanese comet hunter, he's discovered a few comets in his life. Sorry, I'm trying to get the right angle, the way the sun is. He's used a 300mm lens to patrol the morning sky close to the sun, and he discovered an 11th magnitude comet in Gemini. An orbit was quickly worked out from preliminary observations, and they realised this comet was actually going to approach very close to the sun and would become bright. And within a few days it brightened to 10th magnitude, and it kept brightening every single night as it worked its way towards the sun. And now I started observing it not long after discovery, and I've currently made 5 nights of observations over a period from August through to September. But now it's the day of September 5th, and I've had a couple of very good observing sessions with this comet. I wanted to just talk about it because it's quite a nice comet, and it's not too often you get to see a good one. Our last good one was Neowise, of course, that was spectacular. But this one took us by surprise. Amateur discovery, beat the professionals, beat the surveys, just goes to show you how dangerous comets can be when they're arrive from a particular orbit, when they approach hidden in the glare of the sun, and especially if they're an outburst. So this one, actually, they thought it was hyperbolic, going to be thrown out of the solar system completely, never to come back. But turns out new observations indicate it's actually a periodic comet, a long period comet, hence the C designation in front of the title, C 2023 P1 Nishimura. So this comet comes round the sun once every 400 to 500 years or so it's been here before, which is a good sign. So anyway, at the moment it's working through, it's very difficult to observe because it's so low in the eastern sky before dawn, very close to the sun, in fairly bright twilight. It rises around after 4 o'clock, half 4 in the morning, and then you begin to lose it after some stage after 5 or half 5 in the glare of the rising sun. So it's a pre-dawn object at the moment, very low down in the northeast. It requires good horizon, and it's been tracking from Gemini below Castor and Pollux into the east of Cancer this morning, and is now making its way towards the head of Leo, which is close to the sun. So I've watched this comet evolve beautifully from what looked like a fuzzball, and then a few nights later the fuzzball had a tiny streak below it, which indicated the presence of a tail. And then after that, a couple of days later, the tail grew into a long object. Whoa, I think I just seen, it's very dusty here. I swear I just seen a dust devil trying to form. Yes, yeah. That was interesting. I'll keep an eye out for that one, see if that happens again. Are you warm, pet? Sit down, sit down. Rua's been with me for all my observing sessions, by the way. I've been observing from home with a telescope, and then I've been driving out on 2 occasions to a dark location where I can get a low northeast horizon. About 20 minutes into the countryside here, and that's paid off a few days. I haven't really been taking any images of the comet because I don't have the right equipment for it. You really need to have a tracking mount or have a facility where you can shoot images or CCD images through telescopes to get it at its best. But if you check out the likes of Michael Yager on social media there, on Comet Watch Facebook group or on Space Willer, you'll see his spectacular images. They're absolutely remarkable. They show this comet at its best. But anyway, I seen the comet 2 mornings ago, I use a 10-inch f5 reflector, and the comet had a tail, a blue ion tail, extending across the entire field of view of that eyepiece, and that eyepiece has a field of 1.5 degrees. So that comet's tail visually was at least 1.5 degrees long in the twilight sky, which is very impressive. Whereas a few mornings before that it was much shorter than that. It was getting at 15 arc minutes. So the tail is long, it's blue, it's transparent, it's like a beam of blue light, and the bottom of it fans outward where the solar wind is starting to cause complex irregularities in that part of the tail where a recent disconnection event took place. I made the comet at around 5th magnitude in the telescope, and the Comet is extremely condensed now. It went from a fuzzball through to a very condensed object. I rated it a degree of condensation of 8 with a slash, so it's almost close to a 9. So the Comet is small, over 2 arc minutes, 2 to 3 arc minutes in diameter. The central condensation is a white disc. It takes up a large percentage of the Comet, and the Comet itself is like a delicate, faint, gassy coma or hair around the condensation. So, and the Comet itself is aquamarine green colour kind of thing. But anyway, it's a lovely object, difficult to observe, but easy in a telescope once you know where to look. And I've really been enjoying it. It's a lovely comet, and congratulations to Nishimura for finding it. But I'm wondering how much longer I'm going to see it. What I wanted to say was, on the last 2 mornings, I'm convinced I've seen it with the naked eye. I haven't heard anyone else talking about it online, about naked eye observations, so as we looked at originally to post it on social media. But I've been thinking about it over the last 2 mornings, and I'm going to stick with my instincts on it. I'm fairly confident I've seen it with averted vision as a star-like object. So that was pretty cool. Possibly a naked eye comet. So at the minute it's at least 5th magnitude, if not brighter. I may lose it in the solar glare any morning now as it approaches Leo. This could be my last observation this morning, I'm not sure. But I'm hoping to see it at least one more time, and then we'll see what happens after that. Closest Earth approach is coming up in another 10 days or so, maybe less, and then around the 17th it approaches the Sun at its closest. Some people think that the comet's going to break up because it's intrinsically small. It may actually disintegrate into nothing, which is quite possible. However, it has been here before, so maybe it'll remain intact. If so, it could peak around 3rd or 2nd magnitude, which is technically as bright as the North Star Polaris. So it'll be very interesting to see if it does survive, and if it actually puts on a show in the evening sky in the northwest afterwards. The only problem is the angle of the comet's orbit is not very good for viewing for us in the northern hemisphere after perihelion. It may actually be too difficult to see in the solar glare, but we will see. If it survives, imagine if it went into outbursts and actually exceeded expectations and became quite a bright object, or even unfurled a very long gas ion tail, and there's a possibility that could be picked up into a dark sky extending upward from the horizon. But that's wishful thinking, but we'll see. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this lovely comet. I've been really enjoying it, and it's a nice warm-up for a few other comets I want to see this year. A couple of regular old friends like 2P Encke arriving back, and there's a couple of long period comets arriving which may become binocular faint naked eye objects later this year and early next year. And then of course we have the big one coming next October 2024, which we're hoping will become a great comet, so I'm excited about that. But in the meantime, if you have the means to see this comet and the weather works out for you and you know what you're doing and where to look, do check it out, because once it disappears in the solar glare, that's it. We'll never be able to see it again, certainly not in our lifetimes again, unless you're planning on living for another 500 years, which would be pretty cool. But funny, silly update, but I haven't updated the YouTube channel in a while. Haven't flown the drone in a couple of weeks, to be honest. The weather is perfect today actually, but there isn't really anything happening over here. So I'm not the kind of person who's just going to burn batteries away for nothing, so I'm kind of just waiting for something cool to happen. We've got Saharan dust moving up over Ireland, Northern Ireland this evening. It's going to remain for the rest of the week into the weekend from a plume type event, so there's a possibility we could get some very nice sunsets and sunrises, so I'll be on the lookout for that. There might be a slight chance of thunderstorms later this week and over the weekend too, with very big energy coming up with this plume. The precip charts are sort of struggling with it a minute about where storms could break out, but I'll keep an eye on it. I'm hoping the weekend may produce something, so that would be exciting. After having a spectacular thunderstorm season from May into all of June, then I went downhill for a couple of months. It'd be really nice to end the season with another storm, very late in the season, just to see the season out in spectacular fashion. So anyway, I'm blabbering here. I've been having a lot of late nights recently following this comet and checking for clear skies and driving out with a telescope, and my mind's a bit muddled at the minute, so I think I need to get hydrated. It's very warm and humid, but Rua has been so good. She's been coming out with me in the van earlier in the morning with the telescope observing the comet, and on one particular morning I didn't set my alarm and she woke me up to go outside and at 4:30, and because of that I was able to see the comet in the telescope from home. So Rua is a champion. She needs a drink too. You're right, Rua? So thanks everyone for checking in. Do check out the Comet if you have the means and the know-how. If not, there'll be more to come, so don't worry. And keep an eye out on the channel. I hope to get more drone filming done soon, a few more ship chases, maybe something unexpected could happen, maybe some storms. We'll see. Okay, thanks very much.